Alright, let's get started. Welcome everyone. I've just got to move that over there. Alright, cool. So, hopefully everyone's going well. Yeah, let's just get started. Okay, cool. First things first, let's jump into here. npm run watch. Alright, cool, that's done. Oh, I forgot what branch we're on. We're on the develop branch, which is good. Alright, sweet. We do need to check out the... We need to check out that branch. Ah, alright. Alright, hang on. I'm gonna cool. Sorry, just have to do that. Alright. Let's... Oh, we were going to look at some deep source stuff, weren't we? Hang on. I'm going to go back into here, remove static. Alright, sorry about that. Okay, deep source, let's log in. Let's make sure I don't accidentally give away any details. Alright, cool. Yeah, we're just gonna start easy this at the start of the stream, and then we're gonna work our way up. So we've got deep source. We fixed some issues the other night. So they should be all done here. We've got it down to 15. We're going to go sort most frequent and deal with that, you shorthand. Alright, cool. Bad static method. Alright, we're going to read up the static method. And we've just hit our first lot of ads. How's everyone going? So, yeah. Finally holidays. I'm like, Socks is here. Are you going to say hi? There you go. You going to say something? Just say, nah, not really. Okay. She's still spry for someone who's 10, which is nice. So, yeah. She said, alright, I sit in this corner now. Well, really? Alright. Oh, sorry. Oh. Alright. What was I thinking of? Something, I don't know. I'm tired. We might play around with stuff today. We might not do anything serious or anything like that. I'm a little tired. It's the first day of my holidays, essentially. Well, I had to work today, but the holidays are here now. I've also got to think what days I will be streaming next week. So, yeah, we just got to figure all that out. Alright, so 18 seconds into the ad break. 18 seconds left, sorry. For those on YouTube joining, I have ads run every half an hour on Twitch. The idea, and welcome back everyone. The idea being is the ads run so there's no pre-rolls. So anyone who joins the stream won't get an ad. Because I find them really annoying. So yeah, they tend to hinder me watching streams. Alright, where am I going? So, we're going to fix up a couple of these first. It'll be pretty simple. So we've got 8, 11, and so forth like that. We can fix these up. So, with this particular case, use shorthand property syntax for object literals. So, yes, Socks. I think what they want me to do is just use moving folder, parent folder, and that's it. So let's try that. Now, this is submodules documents module. And this would be line 460. Okay, so I think what they want is moving folder ID and parent folder ID, like that. Now, this is handle folder move. Okay, that's perfectly fine. 5960, yep, and then 427. Okay. I think that's it. And that's handle document move. So we've just got to get it to compile, and once it's compiled, what we'll do is, yeah, we'll see if it still works. If it still works, we push the code. If it breaks, then we'll read more documentation and be like, what the hell are they asking us here? All right. Now, one thing I got to do, debug mode. So this is moving stuff. So Phillip Island Web. Phillip Island Web. In reality, there should be a bug there being like, if I'm hovering over something. Alright, I'm going to put in a bug. Alright. Oh, socks, be careful. Moving document / folders when over a folder, it does not indicate to the user that this can be a destination. All right, cool. So what I'm going to do this. I'm going to hit this little button, and hey, Taku, how are you going? I am going well. I've just started my holidays, the Christmas holidays here. So yeah, I'm tired from yesterday. We had our Christmas party yesterday. So that bug, I hate that bug. I'm still quite tired from it, but otherwise I am very well. How are you going? How's your day been? Now, it was, okay, so it's 23 at the moment. No wonder why it feels so okay for me. Got up to 34 today. So it was quite hot today. So yeah, happy Friday and happy Christmas season. Thank you very much. The same to you. So tomorrow is my, at the start of every single holiday, I just clean this house. Absolutely clean it. I'm also got to write a list of things to fix around my house. So yeah. Alright, method 1, log into NearBeach to go to a project / task with documents. 3, go to the documents section for drag a document or folder over another folder. Expected results, the folder we are dragging onto should indicate to the user that this is a destination that folder / document can be dropped into. I.E background color change. Expected results, nothing happens. Actual results, nothing happens. Alright, easy done. So we're just gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. We're gonna do this. Alright, so this is, I'm gonna say this is normal. It's definitely a bug. Yeah, so we just got to figure out how we can potentially fix it. Ooh, these are fixed. Okay. I've just got to do a quick admin stuff here. We've got to do this update query, and then we just go like this, and we're going to save. All right, cool. And then we go into our custom fields. So we released this last stream, and we archived it. All right, cool. And we're getting to close to the 60th version, stuff like that. We'll keep going and going until I get to the point where I'm happy with the features I've sort of deployed. Oh, I gotta log in. Give me 2 seconds, sorry. There we go. All right, cool. So these are the sort of features that we're looking at, and so forth like that, that we want to sort of deploy. So when I get to a point where I'm happy with how much of this has been deployed, we'll jump onto a 32 branch, which will be dealing with bug fixing and also a lot of test implementation and so forth like that. So yeah. Okay, so we're happy with this. I'm just going to move this down here. So this looks like, yeah, it looks like we've got this done. So what I'm going to do, remove static, git status, should be one file, git add, git commit. Code, smell, fixes, paste that in. We just git push. Easy done. So that will push. That will fix those 4. Now, bad static method. It's customary for instances or class methods to take self or CLS respectively as their first argument. A method that uses either of these names but is found to be static method may have been defined incorrectly. Choose names other than self or CLS for arguments to avoid confusing other programmers with your code. So if we have a look at this, bad practice, the API static method, get endpoint self. The self here can be a bit confusing. All right. Cool, so we want to change it to origin. That is fine. I'm happy to change that to origin. So this is part of the commands. So if we minimize everything, we open up this. We go into our source, JavaScript, composable. No, it's NearBeach, sorry. Management, commands, and documentation cleanup. So let's start from the bottom, will be 48 first. In fact, we're not using it. We can do that. And we don't need a return. We're not returning anything, so that should be perfectly fine. And because we're not using the self, we can get rid of the self from there. All right, so I'm happy with that. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Then, so that's 48, and then we got 52. Which is move. Ah, wait, there we go. So are we using self? We are. So we just got to change that to origin. And we don't need a return. So when it gets to the code, it just, you know, it moves on. And then we got 93. And then once again, we'll remove that. All right, cool. So everything there should be running perfectly fine. Yep. All right. So we would have done that. All right. Code smell fixes. All right. Cool. All right. I've added in a random breakpoint there. So we just fixed those two. If I go back to the issues, so all issues, most frequent, we'll fix those. Should that not have unused variables? Yeah, you were right. And I think it was this one where I was like, hang on a minute, I think... So render Gantt chart row, I think is temp code, and I forgot to remove it. So let's get to it. So Gantt chart, render Gantt chart row. Yeah, I think that's just yeah, I'm not using that. And then commit is defined and never use. All right, this is the documents VueJS. So if we minimize everything, we want to go to NearBeach. We want to go to source, JavaScript VueJS, and then it's document VueJS. And then it will be line 101. So in this particular line, what is it saying? Commit is... Oh, this is part of the actions. Yeah, we should be... Okay. Same with this one, we're just directly manipulating the data. I don't think that's correct. But that's fine. Alright. So git status, git add, git commit. Fixing code smells. Alright. So we'll fix this one, fix this one, fix this one. Either all code paths should be explicit returns or none of them. That is one we can't fix. Field duplicates the name of its containing class. Oh yeah, we weren't going to fix that one. And preferred uses of expression. Alright, we're not touching the regular expressions. Ooh. Oh, it's... Oh, there were more than one page for this one. Oops. Alright. I'm pretty... That says 1. Okay, I'm going to let it finish its crunching of that. We've just done a bit... Yeah, we should have a lot less now. So we're going to close that. We're currently happy. I haven't started my Minio stuff. Let's jump this over here. Let's start the Minio. Alright, so close all tabs. Hit refresh. There we go. What else were we going to do quickly? There's something else I wanted to do very quickly and I just didn't write it down. Alright. So... Sorry. So we've got up a couple of bugs we found. We're happy with the bugs at the moment. So we're quite low on bugs. If I actually update, because I haven't updated my Embraco stuff yet, let's quickly do that. One thing I want to do on the holidays too is I realized I broke a couple of things a couple of weeks ago, so I'm going to have to go back in and re-implement them. Alright, counter bugs. Have I put... No, I didn't. Alright, counter bugs. Current bugs at the moment, we've got 6. So we've got 6. We're scheduled, I think, just one of them. Let's say 2 of them. It's going to be a big task. So 2 of them. That's changed. Alright, we're up to 52. The release happened on Wednesday the 18th. $2024. Alright, cool. Done. So, you know what? We're happy with that. I'm kind of putting off the sprints. Because, yeah, it would mean that I have to do... figure out how I'm going to do that. Alright. Actually, this is a good bug to put in. Take screenshot, share visible. I'm going to go copy. We're going to go into here. We're just going to paste this in. Add object wizard needs pagination. Pagination. So method 1 log into NearBeach to go to any object, project, task, sprint, add an object or link an object to that current object. Expected results. If there are many objects that can be linked, the user will be able to and this is actually another thing we could potentially... sorry, let me rephrase. Another thing we could potentially look at implementing is the ability to filter. That might actually be put in as a new feature. And we'll do that in a minute. So if there are many objects that can be linked, the user will be able... there will be a page animation. Actual results, renders, everything. Alright, easy done. This is priority. Normal. It's a bug submitted. Assigned to me. This is part of the object links. So we'll create that. Now I'm just going to go over here. I'm going to go prod, Kanban, information. Oh. All right. Nothing of value on that list. All right. So over here, it's not documentation, it's not documents uploads, not Docker, not requirements, not search, not Kanban, sprints, project tasks. It's technically a lot of these. Oh, sorry. Might be an idea to update how we're dealing with time zones and displaying date. Oh yeah, yeah. All right, gonna. Oh. Oh yeah, I broke my freaking image upload. I've got to get that sorted. Yeah, hopefully tomorrow. Alright, so add a filter to the, now we're just double checking the add object wizard. Alright, cool. So I'm going to put this as a higher sort of thing. So currently, when we are adding and when we're linking an object to another object, we could potentially have a lot of results. It would be nice if we could filter them. Yes, socks. Yes. No. All right. Yeah, we'll have to leave it at that. For example, we could filter on the title. We'll put in method 1, log into NearBeach. To go to an open sprint. 3, add in another object, i.e tasks. For there are a lot of tasks in the list. Expected results. It would be nice to filter for a task. Actual results currently can't do anything. All right, sweet. All right, we'll put that NearBeach 201 down at the bottom. All right. Start recording short tutorials. Yeah, I gotta do that. I really gotta do that. Also gotta fix this 500 error. I don't know what exactly it is. Diagnostic information. Yeah, it comes here too. Yeah, I'm gonna have to search. I think it's a credential problem. So we'll figure it out. Alright, ad break coming in. I'm just going to close that off. So, we're going to add a couple of objects into here. We are going to be like now. We're just going to do this. Okay, and then we're going to add in an object. So project. Oh. Like so. Yeah, that will work. All right. So going with this, if we were to do something like this, let's say these particular tasks are under this top project, we would want a little arrow pointing that they're a child object. And depending on the spacing, we might need to add more and more in there. Now, I don't know how I'm going to do this at the moment. That's the problem. Because, yeah, we've got the Gantt row, which takes up the whole thing, and then the Gantt information. I don't know where to put that arrow, whether that arrow belongs in there or something like that. So, it's not like I can do a margin left of 10 pixels for this particular one because, and there's our ad break. Oh, wrong one. There we go. Hopefully everyone's going well. I'm new to the coding. Any tips on building a project? Oh yeah, just build something small. Start out something tiny and small, and then move on to the next thing. Start out something tiny and small, and then move on to the next thing. If you come across a problem, just research and stuff like that. And then later on, come back and visit what you've done and see if you can make improvements. Use cursor like a mad nerd. What do you mean? Sorry, like cursor text, or as in like the cursor, mouse cursor? Yeah. Anyway, how are you guys? Hopefully you're going well. Welcome, welcome. Sorry, I just saw your messages. Yeah. Oh, sorry. There we go. The application user cursor. Using... You mean the application I'm building? Ad break's almost over for Twitch. For those on YouTube wondering why I'm running this, so my main platform's Twitch that I'm streaming on. They have ad breaks to stop people having pre-rolled ads when they join. So, but YouTube doesn't throw any ads on me yet. So, yeah. Anyway, welcome back everyone. So, going over here, what I was saying is if I bump this in, we've got a problem where it bumps everything out, which is not what we want. No, Google it, it'll help write your code. Like, are we talking an AI tool? I've been around since before them. I use it to write complete programs. I could only imagine what you could do with it. Well, it's a tool. Yeah. Remember, don't use your tools like crutches. Use your tools like tools. They're there as an arsenal, not the thing to actually do the job. Anyway. So what I could potentially do, add in an icon in here. So if we go over here, I'm just going to duplicate this icon just for clarity's sake. And let's just add in some padding right. I mean, that could work. And then we could, depending on how far down we want to go, we could potentially also do padding left, where we... Okay, thanks, Mojusk. And we could just do something like that. And that would work. We just need several different classes to be like, all right, cool. I'm the second level down. I'm the third level down, and so forth like that. And we won't render it on the first level, because it won't be needed. What's wrong with using a tool as a crutch? It's not like school where you're forced... All right, cool. So the idea is you want to learn how to program, or you want to learn how to do a particular thing. If you actually get something else or someone else to do it, are you learning? No, you won't learn. Doing it yourself and falling into mistakes and stuff like that, that's part of the learning process. So this is why I'm saying it's a tool. Sure, I've used AI. There's times where I've been like, all right, cool, I can't find any proper documentation on any of this. And I've asked it a prompt and it's given me some explanation of how I could potentially solve the problem. Sometimes it hallucinates, but that's perfectly fine because I know how to work with the hallucinations because I've done this before. I'm not using it as a crutch where if something fails, I fall over. Another good sort of simple analogy is if you want to get good at arithmetic, don't use a calculator. Use a calculator to see if your answers are correct. Alright, so we've just got to find an arrow. Yeah, and that's perfectly fine. Listen, if we go ChatGPT, a good one is I am using Umbraco 13 with Umbraco forms. I want to create a workflow that runs after 10 minutes to check to make sure all the prior emails have been sent correctly, that all the current hang on, I'm trying to remember what I asked it. I want to create a workflow that runs after 10 minutes to check to make sure all the attachments are under 10 megabytes. If they are over, we'll send an email. So you might come up with something like this and it comes out like this. You're like, all right, cool. I don't know how to check to make sure if the attachments are a particular size. So you can go through here and you'll be like, all right, cool, there's some stuff in there and so forth like that. And you're like, oh, okay, I didn't realize that file info exists and file info length and all that kind of stuff is in there. And you're like, all right, cool, I'm reading through this. This is potentially how to do it. But don't copy and paste, actually do the work yourself. So yeah, there's nothing wrong with getting some hints and directions from this. But also, at the same time, when I was doing stuff like this, especially around Umbraco forms, it hallucinated quite a lot. It was just being like, all right, cool, this particular method exists, but it didn't exist in the real world. And if you're using ChatGPT or any other AI as a crutch, you'll fall over, because what are you going to do next? You don't know the language. You don't know exactly what's going on. So that's why I say, don't use it like a crutch, use it like a tool. And I can do it. So I'll catch up with chat. It's not that. And I couldn't do it, but I looked at something for 5 minutes and was able to figure it out. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, so if you don't ever be afraid of failing if you're learning something, because the idea is, let's say you've got a problem. You start working on the problem. You're like, all right, cool. Here's idea 1. All right. Something went wrong. And you're like, all right, cool. It might be something big. Socks, can you stop wiggling on the mouse? It might be big, might be small, who cares? Something went wrong. And you're like, all right, cool. From there, I've learnt that. And then you've got idea 2. All right, something small went wrong. You're like, oh, I'm getting in the right direction. You do idea 3. And you're like, ah, something else went wrong. And then you do idea 4, and you're like, perfect, done. And you know what you learned? You just learned all this. You've just learned 3 major things that you wouldn't have learned if you just went straight to the end. You've learned, hey, this went wrong for this particular reason, and this is how to fix it. Hey, this went wrong for this particular reason, and here's how to fix it. Oh, this went wrong, and here's how to fix it. You've just learned a bunch of stuff. Legendary Cerberus, welcome, welcome. I'm not using a crutch. I am the crutch. Walter White, yep, I like it. So, yeah. Anyway, my cat, Socks, is in the way again. So, yeah. There we go. So, now, let's, I'm a little worried about you. Sorry, my cat here, Socks, she's causing a little bit of trouble at the moment. She's like, I'm going to step on that mouse and sit on your keyboard. And at the same time, try and press buttons using her tail. But luckily, the iPad at the moment isn't picking up her tail. Okay, cool. So, where was I? I was doing something like this. I'm going to get an arrow in because we're going to need an arrow. And I'm trying to remember what icons we were using. We actually do have the name for the icons. So that's Final Composables. No, it's not. No, it's not Final Composable. It was part of, yep, this. So carbon icons. Okay, so Carbon is the open source sort of stuff, and we're looking for arrow. And we're just going through, seeing what we like and so forth like that. We kind of like the fire one, but we want it in the opposite direction. So we've got a couple of those arrows. Did you get the idea of this because of some difficulties you faced personally with the project management system? Not really. So, I used to work at a university as a data scientist, and back then we needed something to sort of record our tasks. So I wrote a little task manager project. It was literally named Task Manager, clearly naming. That was written with C++. Oops, I went to erase with the. So I've been using my Kindle quite a lot. That was written in C++ with the Qt framework. And yeah, and then I wanted to get into web development, and a friend recommended me to rewrite this, and NearBeach was sort of written because of this. And then back in August 2020, I deleted 95% of the code to restart it. Should delete it 100%. So yeah. All right, so I'm just gonna go back to the icons. We're just going to... Oh, this one's getting closer. Talk about version 2.0. Yeah. But sometimes that happens. There's been several programs I know of. So Blender 3D, back in, I think, 2009, 2010, they rewrote it from scratch and redesigned the whole thing. So every now and then, a program will do that. It'll just rewrite the whole thing. And usually the reason being is technical debt. In this sort of case, yes, it was a lot of technical debt and I didn't want to sort it. Also, I had learnt a lot since I had started. I had figured out a lot and it was just a lot easier to wipe the slate clean and just implement what I now knew how to do. I usually recommend when people are learning to learn something, when they do something, let's say they create a little tiny project or something like that, something very small, to come back to it and rewrite it and see how they can improve it with what they've learned. So, okay, so the one that is winning would be... We spotted it before, now I've lost it. This one. The connect flow usage. I mean, the other one we could potentially use is, we did see it before, the file one. And then we just need to rotate it. Yeah, which would be nice to do. All right. But at the same time, actually, I'm going to go with the connection flow usage. All right, carbon. No. Did it copy though? No. All right. Now, I'm not going to worry about the style. Don't need to worry about the defs. We can just do something like that. So, rectangle ID. We don't have a transparent rectangle. That's perfectly fine. All right, path. I think that's all good. We're having a quick look at this. We want to split it out so it's like this. So I'm just gonna, I'm just gonna put that over there. Just gonna quickly do that. We definitely don't want an ID. We do want that. I know why I did it like this now. Yep, no, that makes sense. Because we've been binding in the width and the height. Alright, cool. So that is perfectly fine, and then it's just the rest of all of that, which we'll be happy with. Okay, cool, and then... So yeah, this is just from Carbon, IBM, It's, I forgot what license it is. But yeah, alright. So, now that that is done, I think... Try and remember if we need to actually include that particular component elsewhere, but we need to rename this. Otherwise everything gets screwed up. Connection flow usage. And I realize I've done a spelling mistake in the name itself. Done. Alright. So I'm gonna wiggle the mouse. So we've got all this done. We're gonna minimize this. We're quite happy with that now. So the idea being is any child component is gonna have something like an arrow, and then depending what level it is, yeah, and I've just got to figure out how we can render that in. Okay, cool. So we're opening up NearBeach. We're going to open up source. We're going to open up the JavaScript. We're going to open up the components and the Gantt chart and render Gantt row. So this is the row that we're going to render stuff in. Now, another thing I've got to actually do is these will each So I'm just having a quick think. All right. Let's write this out. So at the moment, we've got what's called the Gantt chart render row. So it's just rendering out the row. And then it's rendering out another row. And it's rendering out another row. And so forth, and so forth, and so forth. So we don't actually have any child components here. Now, what we're actually trying to do, it's always interesting to see people combining more than one programming, coding, scripting language. Yeah. Oh, nowadays it's quite common though. What we want is, let's say we've got the render row. We then in here add a child component in there. And then we want to render the children in there. I guess it's not as spectacular as I thought. I used to do that with HTML, CSS, and PHP when I was working as a web designer. Yep. And nowadays, you've got stuff like Laravel, which will come with your usual sort of web framework you want to use. So Laravel introduced me into the Vue. So I had PHP, HTML, CSS, and VueJS. So yeah, you can definitely have something like that. All right, so at the moment we've got the rendered children in here. You know, I don't think frameworks existed when I was a web developer. At least no one ever talked about them, which is plausible. I mean, the other one I know of is I think Ember, which Ember came out in 2011. So yeah, as compared to React, which came out 2013. That was 2008. Oh, fair enough. back then, also, when you think about it, mobile phones had only been, well, smartphones, I should say, had only been out for just a bit over a year. So the Apple iPhone was released in, the Apple iPhone 1 was released in 2007. So middle of 2007. And I still remember having a website for your desktop and then a mobile website. Crazy times. So 2008 were the dark ages of the internet. No frameworks and no IDEs, just Notepad, not even Notepad++, just regular old Notepad. Yep. Yep. Such a long time ago now. And to think that 2009 I started working at the university. That's when I was starting to build. Yeah, I was still using C++ back then. Building applications. Not web applications. Fun times. C++. You know, I don't mind C++. At the moment, I'm using .NET, so C Sharp, because we use a lot of Embraco and .NET sort of stuff at my work. I like it. Pays the bills. I'm not complaining about languages. I'm just a little too old to complain about languages nowadays. Alright, so got to figure a way and how to do this. So we've got get information. And in here, we've got a loop. C++ used to be at the top of my list of things I wanted to learn, followed by PHP. Now my number one is Python. PHP is still number 2. Oh, fair enough. Well, Python's pretty easy to get into. If you wanted to kind of... It depends what you want to do with Python. But if you wanted to do web stuff with Python, I do recommend the Django project. Getting started with Django, you can quickly sort of set it all up, install, and then write your first app. So the tutorial is what made me, which is what convinced me to actually do NearBeach in Django. Because I was able to, after I think 20 minutes or something like that, I was able to complete the tutorial, have the web page up, and I was like, you know what, I can use this. And that was like back in 2016. I wanted to develop AI specifically, but I also like to have more generalized knowledge that would allow me to do other things as well. Fair enough. Another thing which I use Python for is pandas. So we use this to manipulate data and so forth like that. I'm not the best at it yet because the stuff I needed to do with it is very surface level sort of. Yeah, I'm just manipulating data. I'm just going through and be like, all right, cool. I just want to pull it out of this shape, shove it into that shape, and call it a day. Type of thing. Not complicated at all. But yeah, that's what else I use it for. All right. Now, going back to this. So in here, we've got the Gantt chart, and then we've got the render the headers and stuff like that. I think we can't do this. I think what we got to do is add in a middleman. So these are rendering the Gantt rows one by one. This is just a simple for loop in here. What I'm trying to say is we've got to get the Gantt chart data. We've got to put it up. Yes, socks. Yeah, we've got to put it. I'll explain it in a minute. Let me just have let my brain just chew on what I'm thinking. You discovered something cool about ChatGPT. If I tell it what I want to learn and give it a desired time to learn it, it could generate a day-by-day itinerary of what I should learn and study. Oh, that is actually quite... Talking about using ChatGPT as a tool, that is actually a really useful sort of tool and a bit of information. That's definitely not using it as a crutch. That's definitely using it as a tool to be like, hey, I want to learn something. Could you give me a little itinerary and stuff like that? Alright, cool. I would also recommend roadmap.io or .sh. So this is developer roadmaps and stuff like that. So you said you wanted to learn, let's say PHP or web development. Ah. Game. Hang on, I don't read as fast as everyone else. Probably move right over across it. Alright, let's say PHP. There we go. PHP. New. Done. No, you're perfectly fine. It's Friday. The holidays have started. I'm putting off doing this. So, yeah, because I know it's going to be a lot of work. So, yeah, all good. But yeah, have a look at roadmap.sh. Essentially, it teaches you what you need to sort of learn and in a particular way. So yeah. If I ever, let's say NearBeach, and I moved on or something like that, I would probably go into game development. So that's the roadmap I would need to learn roadmap that. Yeah. Alright, so going back into here and with this code, so what we'll need is we'll need another component, and what that component will do is it'll be like, alright, cool, we need the rows of Gantt chart that are relevant for this, we'll render those, and then we'll render the child. So, yeah. So, what I'm trying to say is... we'll have a new component. And it has two tasks. One, render all relevant rows. And two, call again. So, what is it called? Recursive call, recursive. Call, render component. For child rendering. And I'll get back to those after the ads. All right, ad time. Their shoulder face. So anyone on YouTube, once again, Twitch is the main platform. They run ads every half an hour, so that if anyone joins on Twitch, they won't get pre-rolled ads. So yeah, because pre-rolled ads are really annoying. However, if you're on YouTube, you don't get ads, which is fine. Hell, some people on Twitch don't get ads due to where they live, which is fine. So yeah, and you just get to see me talking. You probably see one of my cats run around behind me. It's the daytime at the moment. It is still very, very bright. It is, oh, it's not even 8 o'clock yet. So I've still got, I think, an hour and a half of daylight left. So, yep. Yeah, all right. About 20 more seconds of the ad. Sometimes I do a Rubik's Cube during these things. I do have I have one right now. Okay, so that can go there. But if those are the last two, they are the last two, then I've got to do this move. Which sets it like that. And now I can solve it like a 3x3. So, yeah. And welcome back, everyone. All right, cool. Alright, so what do I, and recursive render component for child rendering. So what that will do is it will actually call this particular component again, And it'll be like, hey, listen, the parent is blah. Okay? And I want you to render those child components. So, how will that look like? So if we got, let's go green for the first layer. So we'll have green. It'll render, let's say, two cards. Or 2 rows, I should say. Like so. And then inside those cards, let's say it renders 1 in here, but then it will render a child, the child for that. So parent, child. And then let's say with this one, there's our parent. There's our parent. There's our child. And there's our child. So the idea is this particular thing will, yeah, it should render it like that. And all right. So yeah, I'll need to knock this out of here. Which is fine. That's not going to be a problem at all. We need to put it at a lower level. We also then need to handle how we're getting this data and how we're going to manipulate the data. Now, some of you who do watch my stream will instantly know what I'm talking about. So, with components like this, if we, let's say, there's our root component, we might have a couple of components set up like this. So, might even have components that are just like this, and I need to get data from here to here. And one method is you can send it upstream and then send it downstream to that. Not recommended in this sort of case. A better method, and we're using VueJS, is to use a store. And we can send that data up into the store, and that data can come down. And it can come down anywhere too. So we've got access to it anywhere. We can mutate it at any component. So we're going to have to move a lot of our data into the store. And yeah, that way we can sort of do all the CRUD to it and be like, yeah. I'm also trying to think, because we do a bunch of other stuff. Do we already have a store there? So I'm just going to open up this. We're going to go into here. We don't have that. I'm going to have to reload the page. Are we running npm run watch? No, we're not. And do I have my BlizzText in here? Yes, yes, I do. So it's been a really hot day. All right. So we've got our, oh, we don't have Vuex yet. There's our Vuex. Oh, there's our view component, sorry. Here's our Vuex. We do actually have a Gantt chart data already, and we've got the Gantt chart data, we've got the Gantt chart status and all that kind of stuff, which is great news. So if I go into this Gantt information, we've got the render each row. And I think a good name for the middle ground would be render Gantt group. Yep. All right, cool. Sorry, I just thought of a really good name. Okay, I'm only doing that just because I don't want to forget the name. Knowing me, I'll forget it, and then I'll be really upset about it. So, yeah. All right, so we've got our render here. We've got the Gantt data, and if we scroll down here, we can find the Gantt data in here. So we're actually taking this Gantt data. Oh, that's the watch. No, that's not calling it. Okay. Where is it initializing? So we've got the props. We've got the data. We've got the start date. We've got the destination. We don't have it in there. So I'm trying to remember where we're getting it from. Oh, computed. Map getters. There we go. We're actually getting it from upstream. So get Gantt chart data. So that's just getting everything. We might need to modify that. And what I'm trying to say is, if we go into the Vuex, so we go into the Vuex, go into the Gantt chart. We've got the date, we've got the cons, we've got the Gantt chart status, Gantt chart data. So update the data, we've got our actions, and then we've got the getters. So we've got the get Gantt chart data, and then we return the whole entire thing. And what I'm trying to say is we should still have that, but we should filter for the parent staff. So yeah, try and remember how that will be done. All right, cool. We can also get single row. Okay, cool. So that's the Gantt chart row. We want the Gantt chart information. So we're uploading all that data somewhere else, which is fine. There could be an initialization script somewhere that just gets the data when we want it. If we actually have a look at the Gantt chart itself, there's initialized Gantt chart data, in which case we get all the data, and then yeah, we initialize it. Now I don't think we're using date time and stuff like that for filtering, but that's perfectly fine. All right. So I don't need to. I'm just going to put that over there. With the Gantt chart information, I don't need to worry about that data. In fact, I could get. No, I'll still need that call here. No, I won't. In fact, I'll be removing code from here. I'll probably be simplifying this. However, that being said, we have a mouse down event and stuff like that. It looks like... Damn. It looks like we're doing a lot more than we initially thought on this particular thing. So if I go to this implementation, we have the mouse down, we grab all that data, and that's what we do for that mouse down event. And that is actually stored at this level. Isn't it? Yeah, it's stored at this level. All right. You might be wondering, what's that for? So the instant I mouse down on this component anywhere, it actually records that information. So if we go over here, let's click on Gantt chart. What is it? Gantt chart information. And then we scroll down to here. It's this mouse down event which we use for this. If we have the middleman, I mean, this might be possible with the middleman and just have the middleman have that on the whole entire thing. Yeah. Because if we go to the Gantt row type of thing, if we scroll up, we should have a bunch of mouse down events here also. And I'll just drop my pen. There used to be a really awesome website / app that I'll often use for web design inspirations called Stumble Upon. Do you remember it? I'm sad that it's long since been taken down. No, I don't remember it, sadly. Yeah. I've just never been really a good designer at all. In fact, I'm terrible at design. Don't ever get me to design anything. So I never used those tools or anything like that. I have gone to, like, when I designed NearBeach, I went to sites like this and had a look through all their designs, and I kind of picked certain things. So, for example, this sort of gradient I liked, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna implement that. Boom. Had a look into here and all that kind of stuff. I also had a look at other websites and stuff like that. So until I found something I liked, and I kind of combined it all. Okay. Extremely simple. You told it what you're interested in, and it just had one button. It brought you to a random website that would fit the categories you selected. It had some really nice looking websites on it. Oh, nice. Yeah. Sadly, didn't use it, so yeah. Sounds like a really useful tool, though. Okay, so we've got mouse down here, on mouse down, and if we scroll down to this functionality down here in the methods, so that emits it back upstream. So we've got, and that way I can manipulate that. All right. Now the problem is doing an emit. So let's go back over here. Let's say you've got a parent component and a child component. Doing an emit up one, that's okay. That will be, it's fine. All right, it's fine. It's understandable. However, let's say we've got a grandparent, we've got a parent, and then we've got a child component. Doing an emit from here, and then doing another emit up to here, it's not fine. Don't do this. All right. This is where you would want to use Vuex. So use use state management. Because it gets really, really hard when we have to actually do stuff like this, and this might not always be there. It might be another component. And then you got to program it for that component and stuff like that, where what we would do in this sort of case is Let's have the grandparent, the parent, and then the child. Let's have the cloud. You would do a store. And then if the grandparent needs it, you would do a compute. So map getters. So that would be how it's done. And that way, if this component changes anything, or it simplifies that component for starters. But if that component gets swapped out for any other component, we're not going to break the system because it bypasses that component completely. So that's what we're probably going to have to do. We're going to have to put all of this into the Gantt chart. Now, I'm just wondering, we might not want it as a Gantt chart Vuex. We might want it Gantt chart drag and drop, or Gantt drag drop. And yeah, have everything in them. And then we can use map getters to get the data we want. So yeah, anyway, let's have a look at this. We've got all this data. With the render this, we emit this up. So on mouse down. That's the, all right, cool. On the mouse down, and then goes into here. And then where am I using this other data? Probably on the move. Yeah. Because if we put the mouse, we'll have the mouse down variables. All right, we'll have mouse down Vuex type of stuff, which will be quite useful. And then what we can do is we just manipulate that. These will then go into the computed sort of thing with the map getters. And then we can reference that very easily. Okay. Oh, sorry. Then with the mouse down, we do all of that. But where else am I using this data? That's the other thing is... Alright, we've got the mouse up. Got update N. Alright, so we're using it in other sort of places too. Okay, so where is mouse moved called? So it's been a while. I've forgotten exactly how all of this sort of connects. So there's our stuff we're calling. Okay, cool. So yeah, if we get rid of that, put this in Vuex, call it from Vuex, we can essentially remove this then. Yeah, alright. Alright, so, plan of attack. Let's handle this first, the mouse down components. So, what we want to do is we want to go over here, we want to right hand click on this, we want to have a new file name. So, we're going to call it mouse down vuex.javascript. And then in here, we're wanting to, now it's export const, isn't it? Yeah, export const. Mouse down vuex equals something like that. It's been a while. Yep, it's just an object. State mutations. State mutations. Actions. Getters. Memory serves me correctly. State, mutations, actions, and getters. Alright, cool. So, straight off the bat, with state. Now, with the state, that is... State, that's a function. Alright, cool. Oh, it still needs the... Alright. There we go. Alright. So, I want to go into gain information. What we're doing is we are just going to select all of these because this is what we want. The exact data. We're going to paste those in. We're going to neaten this up. Alright. And then what we're going to do is... update mouse down variables. And we'll need state and payload. And I've mucked that up already, so I'm going to double check what... Ah, it's a function. Alright, so... Got an ad break starting in 5 minutes. Sorry, I'm just having a quick think. So I should be saying this out aloud when I think about this. So there's one or two ways we can do this. One, we could loop through all the keys in the payload and then update all of those relevant to that. And that way, if we're missing any of the keys, it won't throw up an error. And I'm going to lean on that. The other way is we hard code it in, being like, listen, these are all the things going through. But the one problem is if there's something in there that is undefined, it would make it undefined. Now, the latter will be easy to debug, the former not so much. Because it won't throw up any errors or anything like that. We'll have to be like, alright, cool, are you actually updating it? We literally have to read the code, be like, alright, cool, it's hitting this, is it updating? All of those. Now, I've forgotten how I've done that in the past. I know we've got it in one of the things. I'm trying to remember where we used it. And I think that would be a solution for everything. So I think it's in the card one. Because, yeah, we had the... The mutation, state.payload, no, it isn't in that one. All right. This roadmap site is a rabbit hole. yes, it is. And it's great. I've gone on it a couple of times. So, yeah. I've been looking at the game development stuff. Or a Duke Nukem clone. Any other cool, useful websites like pandas and roadmaps? I can't think of any off the top of my head at the moment. But if you need a project management system, there's always NearBeach. It's free, open sourced. You do have to self-host though. It's because I don't have the money for hosting. Alright, so having a good think. Where did I put that thing? Was it? It's not RFC, is it? I know there's one where we archive cards where we loop through the whole thing. Alright, hang on. Let's just do the good old Google. JavaScript loop through object and get key. I am Canadian. I'm near snow. Do you have a version that will work here? Yeah. Well, it can... yes, I'm gonna say yes. I like it. I like the joke. Alright, for const key, value of object entries. Alright, so we're going to do something like this. I'm just going to copy this. I'm going to paste this in here. For reference. Oops. Alright, so, oops, wrong one. So for, whoops, capitals there. For const key value of, and this is where we go object dot entries, and then we want payload. All right. And then loop through all the payload and update the relevant object, irrelevant state object. So what we've got here is we've got all this, and then we want state, and then we want the key equals, I think, the value. I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's how we do it. Now, the getters. So, the idea is we'll have a single getter for every single one of these, which is going to be a pain in the ass. A quick way to do it is to copy it all and just write it down. So, we're going to do that. We're just going to go, yeah, sweet. We're just going to copy, we're going to paste, and we're going to be like, bang, bang, oops. And we're hitting that brag. Alright, cool. Add time. Let's solve this painful thing. I don't know how to solve it properly, so I'm going to mess it all up again. I've been meaning to... people have shown me that how to do it and stuff like that, and because I keep forgetting. Yep. And then, yeah, I go to practice it and I never get it, and then I've gotten it like for the last 20 bloody shots at the moment. Alright. Blue goes there, and then green goes there. I'm going to do that, and that, and that, and that, and that, and that, and that. Sorry, I'm a bit slow at this particular stage of this thing, so what I'm doing is I'm matching up everything there. I need to do that, and that. And then we've got browns and greens, and then I got to do this, and then I got to do this, and then I got to do this, and then I gotta do this and this and this and this. Alright. And welcome back everyone. Sorry, I'm getting distracted, aren't I? All right, so we've got all of this with the getters. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change this, get that, and then boom. That's how we're going to do all of that. And then with the getters, if we have a look over here, it's just a simple, okay, cool, that's an object, and then we state and all that kind of fun stuff. So we got to go boom. We're just going to go state, and then we do that. Like so. In fact, like so. And then what we've got to do is we've got to return state MD client. It should be this particular one up here. And that's not doing that correctly. I know why. Alright, we've got to register this component first. So if we go into the Vuex store, this will be part of the mouse down. So up here, it'll be, we're going to import it. Part of the module mouse down. Oop. Mouse down. All right, sweet. Like so that's all set up. So in here, what we now want to do, return state MD client X initial. That's perfectly fine. We do the same thing here, state.md index, and that should be a return. And then we have a return state.md object ID, easy done. Then we have a return state.md object type, easy. Then we have a return state.md column. Return state.md end date initial. So yeah, this is all boilerplate type of stuff at the moment. So return state.md higher order status. Return state.md start date initial. And then return state.md status. And then return state.md title. So yeah, easy done. So that we don't have any actions at the moment. I think that's it. That's all we need. We need to set and we need to get. So now that I've done that, I'm quite happy with that. We're going to start using this. So with the view store, we can close the Gantt chart. We can close with the Gantt information. What I'm going to do is I am going to comment all of that out. However, that being said, I'm going to copy it. And we're going to go down to our map getters. We're going to put in a new line. We're actually going to... Socks, can I have my mouse hand back? You're like, no. We're going to cut. We're going to paste this in. We're going to have this down here because we're declaring, hey, these are for the mouse down sort of stuff. So get md client initial. This will be get md index. This will be get md object ID. This will be md object type. This will be md column, or get md column. This will be get md end date initial. This will be get higher order, md get higher order status. All right, cool. Get md start date initial, and then get md status, and then get md title. So yeah, that's all of that done. So we removed it from up here. And that's all we did. We just moved it. We haven't removed it, we've moved it. So thus, we don't have to worry about this emit anymore. So I am going to delete this. And I'm going to search for mouse down. So here's our data. And I'm saying we don't need this anymore. Oh, is mouse down equals true? Okay, so we've got a Boolean function that we didn't think about, that we need to update also. So when mouse leads, we've got the mouse down equals false, and that's a Boolean flag for us when we're processing the data, because there will be a number of reasons why we want it to be like, all right, cool, we're finished processing this data. So for example, if they leave a certain area, a good example is if I hold this down, I can move it back and forth, but the instant I leave that area, I want it to stop. I don't want it to continue processing that sort of data when I'm down here. So that's why that's in there. And getting that up into the view is necessary. In the meantime, we can actually get rid of all this data. And what we can do is we go back down here. We're like, is mouse down? By default, false. Easy done. And then what we have is we'll have a specific mutation for it. So update is mouse down. We have our state, we have our payload, and we have state.is mouse down equals payload.is mouse down. All right, and we're just passing it through like that. Then we'll have a getter. All right, and that's the simple state. And then we return just that. Easy done. So it does mean we've got to do this. So I'm just going to put that in comments now. But if we have a look for mouse down, we don't have it anywhere else in here. So with the render get, so mouse down event, this is this.user level is less than 1 at return. It does not, no permissions. The user doesn't need to do anything. So emit mouse down. So this is what we were emitting before. And what we could potentially do is we can change this. This is actually going to be really simple. So this $store.commit, and then all we need to do here is update mouse down. No. Yeah. Update mouse down. Oh, in fact, we don't need that. And in here, we just go is mouse down and we just go true. Boom. So that will update everything. Not much of a code change there. So the emit and the commit are very similar, structured. So that works. Now, we have a boolean in here. Is mouse down. So I'm going to remove that because now we've moved it from here into the Vuex. So that way we get to control it from multiple different components. And we want to have that down here. Like so. Perfect. Perfect. So we need to get rid of this here. And then we need to search for is mouse down. So we've got it here. What we've got to do is this dot $store dot commit update mouse down is mouse down false. Right, that's it. That's all we need to do. Now, because it's only one key component, it's only going to update that one little tiny thing, and that will be fine. And then we just get rid of this one. And now, this is a boolean, so that's perfectly fine. Oh, we got to do it here too. So this $store dot commit update mouse down is mouse down, and that's going to be false. Will this? All right, so got that. So we're now handling that boolean. And we've just once again removed where it was in the component. We're actually now storing it somewhere else so we can manipulate it from multiple places. Okay. All right, so I'm going to say I'm happy with that so far. Let's see if we've done it successfully. All right. My guess is no, because none of this is moving. All right. Yeah, none of that has done anything. It hasn't updated. All right, not a problem. So we've just done the Gantt chart with the is mouse down. Render Gantt chart. So mouse down event, it should send stuff up. Now what I'm going to do I'm going to do that. The other thing I'm going to do I'm going to do that. Now we've got to get rid of these console logs very soon. Don't you worry. I've just got to double check. All right, 18 minutes. Yep, that's perfectly fine. That should rendered. That should have rendered by now. Or compiled, not rendered. So we've got a 400, but I'm not too worried yet, because for some strange reason this has started moving. And if we have a look at the console, it got to the Vuex, and everything's perfectly fine. If we have a look at the Vuex itself, we'll notice Yeah, that did update. It's only on mouse down that it updates, so it only updates once, which is great. We just got to fix the 400 issue. So the 400 is a bad request, so we're missing the status ID. Oh, we are too. Oh, what happened? Alright, the status ID. Oh. Not a problem. We'll have a look. Let's get rid of these console logs. We've got MD status and MD status ID. So if we actually have a look at the mouse down, we've got MD status, we don't have MD status ID. Alright, so let's just key that in, MD status, and then we're going to key in get MD status ID, state, return status, state.md status ID, like so. What we want to do is we want to go back into this particular one. I think it's been used in here. We're just going to go in here and just go MD status ID, get MD status ID. Like so, and I think that's it. Alright, so we'll just wait for this to compile. It takes about 6 seconds. And my lips dry. Alright. Should be compiled. We're going to jump over here. We're going to refresh. There we go. Status ID. That's all we needed to do. We just missed one particular field. And this is working really well. And now that we know that this is working, what we're going to have to do is we're going to implement that group component now. Just after I just move these little cubes around. I don't know why I'm so addicted to these things. Alright, so going back into here. So we're happy with the whole render thing. So with this, what we're doing is we're rendering, it will be the Gantt chart data, and that we're getting from somewhere else. We're going to move quite a lot of these components, this sort of data down into a child component. So, yep. So first things first is we've got the is parent closed. And what is that looking at? Is the parent closed? All right, cool. So if what I'm wanting to do is that just sending data every single time I click on it? It is too. Oh. Alright, we have a bug. So what's actually happening is it's sending data every single time I click on something here. And the info should be bringing up something. We should see some data. Because that was working at the start of the stream. Pretty sure it was. Because the idea, if you click on the info, it will actually take you to that particular object. However, I might have implemented that at a different... No, I implemented that in this particular branch. Did I implement the hover over in this branch? I'm pretty sure I did implement the hover over in this branch. So, yeah, this is And all right, MD status undefined. Is mouse down false? All right, that is, we're going to put that in as a bug. Actually, I don't kind of want to put it as a bug, kind of don't, because at the moment I'm not sure if it's something I'm doing at the moment or if it's actually been there for a while. So we're going to do it. We're going to put it as a bug. And actually, no, I'm going to test it. So first things first, let's get rid of that. Remove static. Git status. Git add everything. Git commit. What are we committing? We are committing all of these. So move the mouse down events into Vuex. So multiple components can reach the information. So just do that. Then git checkout dev. And then we're npm run watch. And I'm going to shut my curtains. Alright, so this is compiled completely. We're going to go back over here. We're going to be like, alright, sweet. What we're going to do is we're just going to reload. And we don't have that issue. So when we click on the... we still have that issue. Alright, this is definitely an issue. So, what I want to do here is get chart sending data to backend when clicking objects. So, method 1, log into NearBeach. 2, go to an open sprint. 3, move an object's move the bar object bar. Bar 3, click on any of the object title or the info icon. Expected results, no network traffic. Actual results, network traffic is sent. This is normal, this is bug, this is submitted, this is me, this is part of the sprint functionality. We got no versions at the moment. Alright, cool. We're going to create that. So we've got our 8 issues now. I mean, that's nice. I'm not overly worried about this at the moment, but I'm annoyed that I did create these info things. And I had information and stuff like that, which was meant to pop up. Was that for this? I'm pretty sure that was for this. Because, yeah, that's why I put the info in there, and it's not popping up. Alright, we're going to fix that up. But, yeah, I just needed to make sure if it was going to be a new issue or an existing issue. It's an existing issue, so let's create a bug. Let's get to it. Git branch. Child objects on sprint. npm run watch. Alright, so We've just done a bunch of stuff, which we're happy with. Now, what are we going to do? Hold on. Get information, didn't have any of that in the data. What the hell just happened? Oh, don't say I just pushed my commit. Onto the wrong branch. Ah, shoot. Alright, I've done a big boo-boo. We're into Gantt row. Alright, so I've done a big boo-boo. We're getting rid of that. And now I'm expecting ads. Okay, cool. Yeah, so what I've done was I'm working on the wrong branch. I thought I was on the right branch. No, I wasn't on the right branch. It's annoying as hell. These things happen. Usually you would use a bunch of git commands to be like, no, that's going to be over here. Ignore that. Whoops, sorry. Commands I should learn properly. Alright. And welcome back, everyone. Oh, well, no, not welcome back. Welcome to the ads, everyone. All right. Let's go ad time. How's everyone doing on YouTube? Because you guys can hear me. All those who can still hear me on Twitch. Understandable. I understand there are a couple of countries that don't get ads. So, yeah. Welcome, welcome. Okay, I'm just doing the cube very, very quickly. This should act like a 3x3 at this particular point in time, so we should be able to do this. Alright, doing that. How's the ad? 17 seconds left. I'm going to get the bloody headlights again. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. Okay, headlights averted. Look at that. Solved. And welcome back, everyone. So. Alright, so I made a big boo-boo. I accidentally pushed the wrong thing to the wrong branch. Not the smartest thing I've done tonight. So, but the thing is, we want this particular feature in by hopefully the end of next week and stuff like that. So I'm focusing on this instead of focusing on bugs or anything like that. So hopefully when I get those in, I'll be like, all right, sweet, done, perfect. So yeah. Okay, so what I want to do, go back into here. I'm going to reload. Now this will work. All right, perfect. I forgot what we were going to do in here, but it's not popping up the information, which is, it should be popping up tooltips. And I don't know where they've gone, those particular tooltips. So we might need to fix that up. But at least we've got this now. Now, what the hell was I doing before all of this? I've absolutely forgot. Absolutely forgot. Oh, I am. Almost fell off the little stool again. The sad thing is, this thing's slowly falling apart. Need another chair. Okay. All right. What was I doing? I don't know. All right, I'm going to fix the tooltip thing because I've clearly broken it, and that was actually a really useful tool. Tip. Give me 2 seconds. Okay. All right. Where's my tooltip? We've got the carbon trash can over here. And then we've got the carbon information. And we've got the blank. And how did I do this? I've absolutely forgotten how I got this to work. And did I get it to work? I'm pretty sure I got it to work here. Yeah. The idea being is database title, description. Oh. Yeah, all of these have to have descriptions. All right, cool. So if I go into the view and I go into the components and I go render Gantt chart, we've got the description. So when hovering over, the tooltip should be appearing and stuff like that, but it doesn't. Are we... That code we got rid of? That was the tooltip code. Okay, we are making a couple of mistakes tonight. I do apologize. Easy way to do this, what you do is you go on here, you go commits, you're like, alright, cool. Fix merging issues. Realize that, yep, I've done the wrong thing. And it's somewhere in here. Another thing you could potentially do is you go to NearBeach, you just go into source, JavaScript, components, Gantt, get information. So not there. So go back to the code, go into develop, go into the commits. So we've got a bunch of code smells that we were fixing. It's this one which we did, and it's this particular code right here that we fixed up. We should be... this code is used for the tooltips when user is hovering over the icon. And I think we just got to do... So we've got a code smell here that we can't do anything about, which is just plain annoying. Yep, alright, cool. Anyway, give me 2 seconds, sorry. My phone keeps going off. I'm just wondering why. That's annoying. Alright, cool. So, bootstrap tooltips. Examples. Enable tooltips everywhere. Now this is old documentation. We should be going to this one and then going tooltips. Overview. So enabling tooltips, and this is the code that we're given. Yeah, this is annoying. I know that we can't use that. So, yep. We could, in a theory, put in a tooltip list. The thing, no, I'm overcomplicating stuff that doesn't need to be complicated. Let's just say it does that. All right, cool. And then once we want all that done, npm run watch. All right. Cool. Then we've just got to refresh this. All right. Cool. Now, the reason why we've got duplicate of this is because they will be child components of something, to requirement items and stuff like that. However, as we do this, we'll fix up all of that. So yeah, I'm not too worried about that at the moment. So yeah, don't worry about that, is what I'm saying. All right, so what we've got in here, yeah, I've got to fix up the SQL statement. But yeah, anyway. We've got this done. This is code. This now works. We should hover over this. We see the tooltips pop up. We're great. There's shoulder face. Everyone's happy. This is working like we want it to. And then someone clicks on that. So we've got that done and that done. If we move this, in theory, we should move this and it should update both those. We'll get to that in a bit, and how that will work. It's going to be one of those sort of things where it's going to update multiple things in multiple places. It's going to be really annoying, isn't it? Yeah, but let's just data analysis. Alright, no problem. What I mean is, because they're joined, when we update one, it'll update from the source, but it's got to update both of them on the board. So it'll update one source, but it's got two places on the board to do. That will be a bug we've got to put in a little bit later, or if we fix it. So we've got this now working like this. All right, so I'm now happy. Let's get the middle, the grouping work done. So this is why I named that component get group. So we're just having a template at the moment. We'll have a script, export default name, render get group. All right, cool. And then we need the props. We won't put anything in the props at the moment. We definitely need some methods. I don't see us using mounted at the moment. We'll definitely need computed, because we'll definitely need map getters. So up here, what we need to do, import map getters from Vue, and then up here we dot map getters, and then we've got this in here, and then like that. All right, cool. Let's start rendering stuff out. So down here, what we'll need is the parent object destination, which will be type string. Default is going to be nothing, which is great news. Then we'll need parent object location ID, which will be type of number, and default is going to be 0. Now, okay, not a problem. We've got to put this as a 0, no matter what. And I'm just thinking later on I need to actually put in a special sort of statement to be like, hey, if it's 0, we kind of want this. Yeah, that's going to be easy to do. Okay, cool. It'll be conversion. So what I'll do is I'll be like, all right, cool. Any zeros will be converted into null, and then we can filter by that null. That's going to be the easiest way. We need to fill this out with a number, so we're limited to that. So we've got this now. Now, render monthly header, we don't need that. Render get header free. Scroll up. That's render get row. Whoops, sorry, get information. As you see, we're going to replace this. So for the moment, what we're going to be doing is we'll copy it. We'll paste it in here. We'll have it like that. We'll be happy with this. However, at the same time, we'll not be happy with this. Yeah, I'm going to have to figure out how to loop this, because what we want to do, remember, we want to loop this so we've got the parent and then underneath it all its children. So it will call itself here directly afterwards. And I'm just wondering if we should put these in divs. And then we got divs and divs and divs and divs and divs, in which case really I don't want to overly do that. Yeah, and the idea of this middleman is meant to be like, all right, render the first one. This is where I'm trying to think in my head. Okay, cool. Unless we add the loop onto this, and then we render the Gantt row in here, and then we call and get all its children, and then render that. And I think that's how we do it. So what we do is, and I'm just writing notes here, render the one element we want. All right. And then render all the child elements we want. Like so. So we have a simple for loop in here and it renders all of those. So up here, instead of having the render Gantt row up here like this, it'll be render this as a loop. And I think that's how we're going to have to do it. That way I'm not dealing with divs and inside divs at different levels of divs and stuff like that, which will drive me nuts. And it just won't look good. So yeah. Anyway, I'm going to do that. So we're going to plan an attack easily. So the plan of attack is we're going to hang on. Plan an attack. Let's pull out all the Gantt chart data that are just parents for this particular one. Let's get this Gantt chart data done. So at this level, what we want to do is we want to go down to the computed, and I don't know how to feed data through with the map getters when we have a variable to pass through. So let's just look that up. VueJS map getters with variables. Pass params to map getters. All right, cool. Yep. So down here, getters, foo, state, return bar. All right, cool. Map getters, foo. Yeah, but I want... So store my module, state actions. Alright, not what I wanted. Map getters. Alright. Get something. Thing. Return get something dot ID. This dot account reactive and dependent on the parameter. Alright, cool. That's how we're going to do it. Alright. Okay, sorry, I'm just looking when the next ad break is. Oh, about 10 minutes. Alright, that's fine. Alright, so I do believe it's done something like this before. So get Gantt chart data is going to be like that. Okay. And then with the computed, it is, let's go down here and go filtered Gantt chart data. Okay, like so. And then this will be return this dot Gantt chart data. And it's just calling it, and then we do something like that. All right, cool. I think that's going to be it. And let's get this started. So we want the Vuex sort of stuff up here now. So we want to go with the Gantt chart data. We want to move that over here. We're all happy with this now. So with the get Gantt chart data, we want to pass that through like that, and then we want another one like this. And then in here, what we want is we want parent destination and parent object destination, parent object and parent object destination and parent object location ID. Okay, and then passing through this, we just got to go that dot filter the row where return. We need so at the moment that will be none. It'll be filter. Give me a couple of seconds. I need to actually have a look at the data. So I click on this and I click on Gantt chart. You know, Gantt chart data. I open it up and I go, and I want parent object ID and parent object type. That might be a better naming convention. Alright. Parent object type and parent object ID. And parent object ID. Yeah. Keeping it simple. And then we go row dot parent object type equals, and we've got to pass this as, got to do two lower. And then I remember this is JavaScript. Two lowercase. Equals parent object type dot two lowercase and the row dot parent object ID. This is where we got to pass it as an int. And this is where we go. Otherwise, okay. So we want to pass it as a string. JavaScript parse string. Now, is that a capital? Yeah, that's a capital. Equals. And then we got to make sure it's converted correctly there. So that's going to definitely be a string, no matter what. And then convert object ID. So yeah, due to these three equal signs, we do actually have some type issues when dealing with the IDs and so forth like that. So in this sort of case, we'll write notes in here. If the parent object ID is 0, it means we are at the top level. The database will return a null string for that field, so we convert this value into a null string. Easy done. Return the filtered values. Okay, so all it's doing is it'll be returning all of those. And we have an ad break incoming. Okay, cool. So that should be it. And if we lowercase those two strings, that would be perfectly fine. If there's a mismatch with the heights and stuff like that, who cares? We're doing that just in case. So it has to match both. And we're stringing everything, and that should work. Okay, so with the get information, that should be the filtered Gantt chart data. What I want to do is I just want to go up here. I do want to undo this for a second. I do want to get rid of this and go filtered Gantt chart data. And the reason why I'm doing that is I want to test it. That's all. And that should be it. So going over here, what we do is we wait a little while. I think, oh, we got an error. Nope, it's not an error. We just needed to wait a little bit longer. All right, it has failed. It's not rendering anything. Everything's failing. Do we have any console log errors? Yeah, we do. Parent object type is undefined. All right. It's because we have undefined it. All right. I've made a big boo-boo. The boo-boo is I've undefined everything here. So yeah, we've got to do that. So that should be fine now. So yeah, in our case, what we're doing is we're doing two of those things. But that would be perfectly fine. We're only checking. All right, yeah. All right. Parent object is null. Okay. But that's what we kind of want to do. All right, at the moment, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do this and return state.Gantt chart data. All right, as simple as that. We're on our ads right now, so ad time, yeah. Anyway, I'll be right back. I just need to go to the bathroom. I won't be long. Yeah, I'll be back. Anyway, I am back. I've got socks with me. Okay, and we're just in time. Welcome back, everyone. Okay, so what was I saying? We were going to do this, but first, what I want to do is I want to console log the Gantt chart data first. I want to see what I can do. Okay, I've clearly done something wrong here. I might need to do some conversions and so forth like that to figure stuff out. So we're going to hit refresh. We've got our data, but we haven't got that console log. I might need to wait a couple more seconds. There we go. So what I want to do, select as a global variable like that. I want to go temp0.target. Temp0. All right, let's open up the proxy. Target array. Store as global variable. All right, so temp1 dot filter where row such as like that, and then return row dot. If we open up this, open up one of these. Now we've got the parent object type, parent object type equals null. And that will work, but if we do 2, that's not going to work. So I might need to push through null. So if I go var a equals null, and then we do this again and we pass through a, that will work. All right. I think that's the solution. Okay, going in here. Pass int that equals 0. Hang on. All right, give me a second. Pass int null. It's not a number. So if I go b equals pass int a, then we go null. Otherwise, we go a. B should be null. All right, cool. So I'm just going to delete this. I'm just going to be like, all right, cool. If parent object ID is 0, it means that we're at the top level. The database will return a null string for that particular field, so we convert it into a null string. All right. And hey, the Bob I know, how are you going? Hopefully you're going well. Welcome, welcome. So yeah, we're finally getting to the stage of us doing the child elements and stuff like that. So it's taking a couple of streams, but I think we can do it. I think we can do it. Alright, so with this, what I want to do is I want to be like const parent object ID. We want to convert the object ID, but alright, yep. Convert object ID equals, and then we've got pass int for the parent object ID, and that will be triple equals 0. So if it equals 0, then we're going to go, that's just going to be null. Otherwise, the default will be the parent object ID. So if we pass null, it's going to be null anyway. If we pass 1, that doesn't equal 0, it's going to pass through 1. So we do a conversion here. And then we want to return the filtered values. I just want to be like const filtered values. And then it'll be state.get chart data dot filter where we've got a row. And then we've got condition 1 and condition 2. So const condition 1 equals where the row dot parent object type. And hey, Nocturnal, how are you? To lowercase equals parent object type dot to lowercase. Oh, I can see a problem here right now. So if I go a is null, a dot to lower string, we're going to throw up an error. That's not going to work. In this sort of case, let's keep everything lowercase. Let's ignore the fact that we need to convert things to lowercase. You're alright. That's good. And sorry, the whole sentence just threw me in a spindle then. You're alright. How am I? I'm going good. I started my holidays, so yep, I am. Not working till the 6th of Jan, which is going to be nice. So a little 2-week break, which is going to be nice. I am definitely going to need it. I looked at how much leave I have at the moment. I've got 20 days of leave, and I'm like, holy hell, I might take another really long holiday in the middle of the year again. Which will be nice. I do need it. Alright, so what I'm going to say is this should all be lowercase. If we actually go into the data itself, let's go over here and open up this data. You'll see that the parent object, that one's null. Actually, that one would be a string. So parent object ID. Alright. Parent object ID. 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 So we might actually need to change the parent object ID into a null string. But I don't know why the object type would be a null. And this might be one of those cases where I'm hoping this is not the case, but I'm having a feeling this is going to be the case. So that's not being consistent at all, which is really annoying for me. So the idea being is the parent object ID should be a null, because that's an ID, 1, 2, 3, 4 type of thing. And yet the object type, which will be a string, is a null when it's not there. And I'm trying to think, will that always stay like that? I'm having a feeling that that's all of a sudden going to be like, nah. Yeah. Alright. We're going to have to actually split this out. This is annoying. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to delete all this. That's fine. We're going to write a particular long and arduous comment in here, being like, the top level objects will have either a null or a string in the parent object types or ID. This is causing an issue here where we can't guarantee if it will be a null or a null string. Hence, we are using an if statement here. Alright, cool. So if the parent object type equals null, or parent object type equals an empty string, we handle it this way. So that will be return state.GanttChartData.filter, where we've got our row, and then what we want to do is const condition1 equals, we got our row.parent object type equals this, or parent object type equals null. All right, easy done. Then condition 2 equals the row dot. We might still need to do the conversion just in case. No, we don't need to do the conversion at all because we will have it. It's the same sort of thing. The parent object ID equals nothing, or the row.parent object ID equals null. Now in reality, if one is blank, we don't need to do the condition for the other, because we don't need to check both of them. In which case, I am going to delete this, and then this becomes a return. And what do I mean there? So if we actually have a look at the data, the Gantt chart data, you'll notice that the parent object ID is null, and then the parent object type is null. So if it's a root object, both of those particular fields will be either a null string or a null. And we don't need to check both of those. We only need to check one of those fields because the other one will essentially be in one or the other. So we're just going to check the parent object type. And we're like, all right, cool. If the parent object type is either a null string or null, we want it back. And that's what we're doing here. So then we just return this. Now with this is where we're going to do other stuff in a minute. But first, let's test this out. So we've got simple task and task administration because the projects were connected to a requirement. Now, the problem is I'm going to have to filter out those requirements. So yeah, I do need to edit the SQL statement. So what's actually happening is in this particular type of sprint, we've added in a project. Now in the back end, we've connected that project to something else, another requirement. And that requirement item isn't in here. So we shouldn't be filtering that one out. Now, one way we can handle this is at the SQL sort of statement, we can be like, hey, with our left outer join, with the connections, we're only dealing with requirements in these particular cases. So I think we're just going to edit our SQL statement to improve this. Yeah. Anyway, with this other one, all right, so what we got is const condition1 equals where our row.parent object type equals. Now, I'm not going to worry about if we're going to send up a 0, because we're not going to check for that 0. Because if we're sending up a 0, we're also sending up the object type as being blank. So, yeah, that's it. We simplify the code by doing this then. So, row parent object type equals the parent object type. Now, these should both be strings, however, There'll be nulls and that. All right, cool. They should both be lowercased. And what we could potentially do we could do something like that. And what that will look like is if we've got var a equals null. Okay, so we're happy with that. If we go string a dot to lower case, it's going to give us that, which is fine because we're not going to have an object parent object type of null at all passing up here, so that will be fine. And then const condition equals string row dot parent object ID to lower case. Oh, we won't need the to lowercase. And I think we can just pass int. Like so. So yeah, we meet both conditions there. So with the, if we go over here and we go pass int, let's say a equals 1, it's going to be false because not a number does not equal 1. So that's going to pass with no problems. We don't need to worry about converting anything or anything like that. So now that should work. Now the problem is I want to fix the SQL. And I think we need to actually focus on fixing the SQL first. So we want to open up NearBeach. We want to open up our views. We want to go so here it is. So we're going to modify this. We're just going to paste it in. So this is what we were working on the other week. Now, I do need to come into here and I do need to be like, all right, guys, I need to test this on Oracle and stuff like that. I will hopefully do that this weekend. I will need to install Oracle in the database, MariaDB, MySQL, and Postgres and test this. It should be too, famous last words, it shouldn't be too hard to do. Once again, famous last words. So, yeah. Anyway, so with the temp table, we create a temp table and then select distinct and so forth at that. So the first one we do is the projects where we do a left outer join on stuff. But what I want to do is I kind of want to start with the requirements first. And I'm going to do this smart. So the requirements get inserted first. And then the projects, they're reliant on the requirements. So left outer join on OA project ID and stuff like that. Yeah. And that will have the requirements. The NearBeach. So I need to filter this again. And I want to have a join. with the temp table, because the temp table will have the data in it, and it's a smaller table. Hang on, no. I'm not inserting anything. Oh, damn it. All right. With temp table, select distinct, sprint object ID, project ID, requirement ID, sprint task ID, from NearBeach sprint object assignment, where and then what I'm doing is where select requirement ID from temp table. Yeah, all right, no. I'm doing something. All right, not what I wanted, but that's perfectly fine. Ah. All right, I'm going to copy this. I'm going to paste this in. And we're just going to run it. Now, it doesn't work because we've got something like that. What I want, sprint 8. And then it pulls out this sort of stuff. So these two projects, they've got a requirement item that we're connected to, but that particular connection isn't connected. All right. Oh, we got another ad break in 5 minutes. Oh, okay. All right. So in reality, what we want is these objects not to have these particular requirements because they're not actually in the table whatsoever. In fact, we've got no stuff in the table. So how are we going to do this? So first off, we've got temp table. We declare everything and we put the sprint in there with the sprint project ID requirement sprint. All right, cool. So that is the temp table which declares stuff. Now, another thing we could potentially do is create another table and insert this stuff into it, and then we can reference the table. So if I were to go with xkelly draw, what is our SQL method? So at the moment, SQL method is one, create a temp table. All right, 2, insert all relevant objects into temp table. Okay, and then 3, do the select statements. Now another thing, and I've just thought of this. So we go back here. We've got the list of project statuses. All right, that's perfectly fine. That's a left join. From NearBeach project as P, where P a project in. All right, cool. And that's where we've got, that's where we're limiting this down, because we don't need every single project whatsoever. We only need those that are in that particular table. But what we could potentially also do is look at the temp table and limit it at the object assignment table. We're on to la and we can go. But then we need to probably do this twice. No, don't worry. And now it should be a small enough table. It should be fine to do a select statement, even if it's 100 results and stuff like that. That's still, we're not dealing with hundreds and thousands of results, so we don't need to worry about making this overly efficient. So object assignment dot requirement ID in, and then we go select requirement ID from temp table. Hey, sucks. So that should get rid of those particular items there. And no, that actually got rid of the projects completely. Right, not what I wanted. Because I was hoping to deal with it just on the object assignment. I'm just going to put a random number in. So we should have project only, project QA team. And we miss them all. Alright. Yeah, this is going to be a bit trickier than I thought. Okay. So, list of project statuses, left join that on that. All right, and then left outer join on object assignment, where object assignment equals all of that. If I get rid of that, and I'm just like on object assignment dot project ID equals 100, and we're in an add. Yeah, it's gonna get rid of that. All right. Anyway, add time. I will be right back. I just need to fill up my water, so I'm a bit empty. Anyway, socks should be here, causing trouble. So yeah, I'll be right back. Alright, still that time? Yep, about 30 seconds left. Alright, so I'm going to put that there. I'm going to move this back over here. Yes, I know socks. So, how am I going to tackle this? Oh, I know socks. It's the left outer join. Don't know why it is not. And welcome back, everyone. Let me get this back on. So yeah, I don't know why we lose everything. So we lose the projects right away when we do that. But we want to keep them there. What we're trying to say is, hey, if there's a left outer join. So if there is no data in the object assignments table, it's not gonna insert that data. It's a left outer join. It should be null. I'm just wondering how we can do that. Once again, we've got a fallback method. What we could potentially do is we could just extract both bits of data and then combine it in a simple for loop, which it's fine. I just wanted to get this done in a select statement. It does mean that I'll be using RRM again instead of a select statement, which would be a lot better to do. Highly recommend that. Also means we get to filter stuff down. It just means it will take a little bit longer to get the data, but it makes it 10 times easier for us to find any bugs or mistakes or anything like that. So, and even if we do an ID in here, but if there's no left out of join data, yeah. Because yeah, I was under the impression if we do a object assignment with a left outer join and we limit the object assignment table to data we need, all of this will still work. And I realize why. That needs to be up there. And now if I play, we've got all of that. And if I go up here and go OA.requirement ID in, and that's where I will do the select requirement ID from temp table. Okay. There you go. So I had a mistake in my SQL. Good thing we're checking it, good thing we're fixing it and stuff like that. And now we've got a bunch of nulls in here, which is what we want to actually have. We've now only got 2 rows of the project because they're not connected to any requirement items that are in here. And we'll test it thoroughly a little bit later. So I'm going to bump this up. So that's perfectly fine. Then we union. And then we go down here. All right, and yeah, I do want to keep a little separation. I'm going to keep this in a particular sort of way, so when people look at it, they're like, oh, okay, cool, yep. So in here, we've got the parent link as that or that. And this is where we do an OR statement. OA dot this would be requirement item in or OA dot project ID in, and we just do our select statements in here. In fact, the or will be down here because that will make it a lot easier to read. A select requirement item from temp table. So that should work, and then the requirements are perfectly fine. Now this didn't like what we did, so I am going to cut this one out. Gonna paste it in. Okay, didn't like any of that. Alright, it didn't like any of that for some strange reason. We're going to copy and paste stuff in. We're going to go project ID in. That will be project ID from temp table. So yeah, that's the sort of basic stuff. I know why I need an or statement in here, like that. So we've got the... Alright, cool. So we've only actually got one object with that, and one way to test it is if we do this, we hit play again. So we've got the requirement item. We don't have the requirement item in here whatsoever. So we get rid of that. We're like, all right, cool, this is all hunky-dory. We're going to delete this. We're going to paste it in. We're going to select everything. I hate when this happens. One, two, three. Yep, three. Alright, so we've just fixed all of that. I'm glad. So we're just going to wait a little while. Going to hit refresh. Boom. So we've got all of those. The sixth one isn't... Sorry, the task... If you rerun this, it's the task QA, which is under a project. So we've only got 4 on here. And then what we want to do is we want to go with the get information. We're happy with this rendering now. So we know the filtered Gantt chart data will work. What we want to do is we want to comment this out. And then what we need to do is we need to get the render Gantt group to work. So that will have all of this information in here. We need to get that also, that data too. Okay, sorry, I'm just shaking Socks's butt at the moment. She's like, I'm not happy. Why are you shaking my butt? So, with the Gantt group, what we could potentially do is just send down the parent information. Or we can send down all of this information. I'm trying to think how I would actually attack this. It might be one of those cases that because we've actually got the data at the parent, we just send that data down. Instead of us being like, all right, cool, we've got the data, we're only going to send 2 down bits of information, so and then you fetch that data again, and then do all that kind of stuff. That's a lot of busy work to get done, where we can just use the props. All right. There you go, sweetie. Whoa! Oh. Come here. She misjumped. Aww. There it goes, sweetie. She's like, I'm not happy. Aww. That was a very bad misjump. Aww. Yes. Okay. There you go. So, what I would need to do is send down all this information. The index. Oh, that's the index of where we are on the whole entire thing, which is what we need. And I just realized that. Okay. The one thing I just realized we need is the index. I mean, we could do it with a UID. I mean, that would work. And then we got an ID. But the index is the exact component that we're dealing with. Oh, fuck. Okay, let me explain this one particular field. So the index, when we render out all the rows, you have a simple index, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so forth like that. And what we do is we key that into this particular element. So when someone clicks on the element, we know what index we're talking about. And in this sort of case, then when we edit the data, we're like, just edit this one row. We're not filtering for the row. We're not mutating we're not mutating that one little tiny thing. We don't have to find that particular row and then mutate that row. We just mutate the row. Now, this makes it hard because we're dealing with children and stuff like that. Yeah. And I don't know how to solve this yet. Okay. Oh, one thing I forgot to do. Alright, that person is done. Sorry, I've just realized something. Alright, cool. Alright. This isn't too much of a problem. Once again, what we could potentially do is see if we can do a UID, and then we search for that UID. And then we got the row, and then we edit it. So we got a backup plan. I don't think I can, because we're dealing with children and stuff like that, I don't think we can do it this particular way. We need the database to send back a UUID, which won't be hard for it to do. I am just afraid that to re-render everything. And, oh, it's gonna... Yeah. Alright. So, I'm going to have to deal with this. Is parent closed? We're going to have to deal with also. Because that is parent closed. We go down here. Stop parent status is closed. Yep. I don't know what that does. I think it locks off the thing. Okay. So we can move that into here easily. That bit of code into here. I think we pass these down from above. That won't be hard to do. Yeah. All right. So we pass stuff through. We just need to deal with the index. So what actually happens is if we do SQLite UID. Alternatively, no, we can't do pass through the index because it could all be reshuffled and everything like that. Because we could, at the end of the day, apply a sort order, which is what we should be doing. We should be applying a sort order on everything. We should actually be inserting this into the tables and then doing a... Yeah. That actually might work. So, at the moment, this looks a bit random. We should be applying a sort order. Now, one way we can do this is we can insert into another temp table all the data we need, and then we return the select of everything, and we do an order in there where we order by the start date and then order by the end date, and we do group bys and all that kind of stuff, and we do that properly. I think that's going to be the best sort of solution here. Yes, socks, definitely the best solution. Yes. Okay. I'm realizing it's starting to get late. I think let's do this, because then I can put in an index too. And then I can be SQLite index column. Which should just give us back a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, we just needed like a 1, 2, 3, 4 SQLite running row count. All right, I've got to figure that one out. Okay. But I think we're getting quite far. Okay. So we've got the parent stuff. Yeah, I'm going to say we've got to bring down stuff into here. We get the parent data from the computer. So map getters, what we wanted to do is we want the get. If I go over here, go back down to computed, we want to filter all of that. We want to paste that into here like that. And then we want the get chart data is get ant chart data like so. So then we get the filter data, and then we can render all the stuff that we want from here. I'm just throwing stuff in here at the moment. So description, that's going to be type of string default. It's going to be nothing. All right, cool. End date. Ooh. The render get row. Because we can just copy all of that. Just scrolling up. Because yeah, it'll be exactly the same. And then we paste that in. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Those ones, element OP. There we go. We just paste them in like this. So all that should be fine. And then what we need to do is get rid of the row up here. The index will figure it out in a second. We'll set up the parent row very shortly. So I just want to do all this. So we've done all that. The object ID, object type, we've all got that in there. All right, cool. So we're happy. It's the is parent closed functionality that I need to get out there. So is parent closed. So this will be 8 to 15. So that's 2, 7 plus 1 is 8. Scroll down to our methods. Okay, so end underscore date. We do that. All right, so that should help us. And then in the Gantt chart information, what we want to do is we want to scroll up. We want to do all of that. We then want to go, this will be render Gantt group. Oh, for fuck's sake. Excuse my French, sorry. Group. And then we need to go v4 equals. Now we're not going to have the index. We're going to, I'm pretty sure with the SQL what we're going to do is we're going to have the index rendered out in the SQL and we're just going to pass it through. We're going to handle the sort order on the SQL also. So everything's handled there and we'll be happy. And then yeah, all right. So v4 row in filtered Gantt chart data, which is what we want. And then we want the key equals the, so it won't be index. So, okay, in this sort of case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this for the moment. And then I'm just going to do that. We don't have the ID of this particular thing at all. All right. Okay. Not count column. All right. All right. Not exactly what we want. I'm going to have to come back and sort of be like, all right, cool. This is what I need. This is what I need. This is what I need. All right. So I'll keep the index in there for the moment. We're going to remove it. But everything else, we definitely should pass down. All right. Like so. We don't need to worry about is parent closed because we got rid of it. So passing everything else down. I'm just wondering if is parent closed status includes this dot parent status. I'm just wondering if we're passing through parent status. We are not. So where the hell am I getting parent status from? Okay. Which means I've actually got to remove that, put it back up here. Alright, no problem. That's easy. We just paste it back in, pretend we never did that. And then what we want to do is we want to grab that, paste it in afterwards and be like, shh, we never did anything like that. Alright? That wasn't me. So this will do every single row. It will render. Oh, add break in progress. Alright, and give me 2 seconds. I am going to grab something. I need to write down notes. Give me a couple of seconds. Sorry, I've got a thing I can write stuff onto. This will be NearBeach. This will be new. Notebook. I'm just going to do dotted lines. We're going to call the notebook 2024. Hyphen 12 hyphen. Today the 20th? I'm pretty sure today's the 20th. Yeah. Alright. I'm gonna create stream notes. And welcome back, everyone. Alright. Sorry, I am going to go for a little bit longer because the holidays have started. So, we're passing down is parent closed. So what we need to do is in the render group this. So we need the is parent closed, is closed, is closed. We go up here and we go vbind is closed equals is closed. Simple as that. Poetic. It rhymes. So I'm going to write down notes what I need to do. RE new sprint functionality. All right, cool. So new sprint functionality, what we need to do in SQL, we'll need to create a column that gives the row index number. Okay, in SQL we need to do that. What was the other thing we need to do in SQL? Oh, we need to sort. SQL to sort final results. Might need temp table for this. All right, cool. Yeah, I got myself a little Kindle Scribe, so you know, I write stuff down on it now. I'm actually using it a lot, so so it gets used nearly every single day, which is nice. So we've got those down. I'm going to SQLite. I'm actually going to use the words I actually wrote down, which were a lot nicer. So, create a column that returns the row index number. This is it. Create table, insert into names. Yep. Select row ID from names. Yep. All right. Cool. Alter table, add column, integer. Update names. Set name index equals row ID. Yeah. We'll figure it out. I mean, worst case scenario, I get the data and then I loop through the data on the front end and I make change. So I don't like that. I don't like that at all. But that is possible to do that. Alright, so we've done that. Now, what else did we need to do? So we've got this. Passing down the index. We're going to pass down the index with the index. That's going to be perfectly fine. So that's going to all render. And then it should still render. We've got a couple of problems, but that we'll sort out probably next stream or on the weekend. That is a lot of problems that we've got to sort out. All right. And we don't have any of the data rendering. Damn. All right. I think it's because it's getting the wrong data and stuff like that. So, yeah. Okay. And then what we want to do is... Now, the thing is, with the render get row information... This is where we want the filtered stuff. Alright, this is where, yeah, this is where we want this. Copy this. We do this. We paste it in. And we render the child elements we want. We don't have this. Alright. Okay. No, we can't put that in there. Alright, so what we want to do fix the is closed as we have just put false. Okay, cool. So that surprisingly should just work. We should get 5 in here now. Nah, we're broken it. Not a problem. Anyway, I'm going to actually say, I'm going to call it there. So, yeah. It's been great. Let's raid someone. My keyboard's just stopped working. Oh, wait. Oh, we've got a complete loop. Alright, no, we want to... Yep, no, that's a... Oh, we want to kill that tab. Alright, what's actually happened is I didn't put anything in here for these particular things. So what we need to actually do is we need to put in this dot parent object destination and this dot parent object location ID. What actually happened is, yeah, we just simply created a loop that kept on going forever, which is not what we want. And I'm going to keep that going, and then I'm going to test that out again. So localhost, I want to find sprints. I'm getting the latest sprint. Realizing that we did that again, we should have had that open because we had it cached. And realizing stop. All right, we've broken it. This is in a complete loop, so what we're going to do is fix the loop issues. We are going in a forever loop. Alright, so we're going to leave it like that. I'm going to do this, remove static. What we want to do, git status, git add, git commit. Implementation of the render Gantt group still needs more work. Alright, cool. And let's rate someone. Alright, Twitch. Oh, Prismatic Dev has just started. We haven't rated him in a while, but he's probably has just started, so he'll probably be 5 minutes. Adrian learns. Alright. Alright, let's raid. Adrian learns. Let's stop the music so you guys can hear him. So yeah, anyway, thank you very much everyone for coming tonight. It has been wonderful. We got stuff kind of done. I'm hopefully going to work on this on the weekend, and yeah, anyway, I hope you enjoy Adrian Learns. So yeah, and for those on YouTube, thank you very much for coming. yeah, sadly YouTube, we can't sort of send people anywhere else. So yeah, I've just got to stop. Anyway, thank you very much.